But the game is out there, and it's either play or get played.
All right, so I want to make a quick message to some of the content creators out there, especially the married ones. We're starting to see, we saw with Hafiz and we saw with Abba, and I like both of them as content creators. But if you're married right now with these marriage rates looking with the way they are, especially if you have kids, you need to you got to lay off the guys. There's something that brought guys to this RP space, man. I'm not even gonna. I don't even have to do it for me. I just let you guys see it. Let you guys see what it looks like. See what it looks like, man.
Show the person who saved your life but don't know it.
So these TikToks, I mean, look, I'll let it play. When you hear these guys out there, they're basically saying, hey, man up, do what you got to do. You're crying about marriage. Look, you could wake up one morning and your wife could look at you and say, I'm leaving. And she might have already talked to a lawyer before you even knew anything about it. That is a reality. That woman could be planning her exit before she tells you anything. Hey, I want you to watch. This is the series of TikToks. I want you to watch all of them.
And how he's doing, and he says, I'm all right. I'm here to tell you, that man is not all right. That man is battling demons that you cannot even possibly imagine. That man is struggling every single day to find a reason to keep going. And the reason we say we're all right is because as a man, nobody really fucking cares what you're going through. So why even bother to say it? But you know what? I feel you, brother. Because I'm alright too.
Now you notice when you hear all of these people talking about man up, they're not talking about this part of it. The part where one day, hey, I don't want to be there anymore. I'm leaving. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to make this as difficult as possible for you to see your kids now. They're not, when you hear these married content creators out there saying, hey, look, there's a reason why guys are finding this space. They're seeing these marriages that are just, they're ending because, like, who's the Tia Mowry, is it Tia or Tamara? I forget which one, but she's just not happy. She's leaving. And so now you got to go fight for your kids in court, right? Again, listen.
Don't you dare give up on yourself. Other people might give up.
This is a man who has not seen his kids in 9 months. He hasn't seen his kids, and he had to fight for visitation. That is part of it. This is part of it. So when you're seeing all these guys, they're saying, oh, man up, and you're over there and you're complaining, hey, listen, the guys that are over here talking about this, especially, some of these passport bros, look, guys who wants to end up in a situation like this where you just wake up one day and you got to fight to see your kids? So when I hear guys like Hafiz and guys that are in these marriages where they're with a cooperative person and maybe they're having regular sex, I don't care. I don't know. I don't really care. But they're in a situation that seems blissful and everything is working out. Do you think that wasn't the case in every other marriage in this era where all of these marriages are going into the toilet? That is just the reality of the way things are now. It's just a reality. It's a reality of the guys are getting married, and then one day they wake up and boom, I don't want to be here anymore. I've already talked to a lawyer. I've already devised my strategy and I'm moving on, and I'm doing it all without telling you because it's the best thing for me and me maybe even getting, custody of my kids. Look, that's a reality of the times. And when I see guys out here basically saying, oh, you're whining, you're complaining, you need to man up, this is bringing people to the RP space. This. Guys are going through this kind of stuff. They're seeing their friends go through this kind of stuff. Good guys, decent guys that are fighting to see their kids. I'm not going to make this video too long, but I want to drop a parting bit of wisdom in this video, because I hear so many content creators talking about how, you know, you need to be a man and all of this stuff. I'm going to actually give you some good documentation that is actually going to help you if you choose to get married. Okay, here we go.
That are going through a divorce or maybe going through one in the near future. Having been through two of them, one very amicable, no issues whatsoever. The other was an out and out war for 15, 16 years. There were times we were in family court literally every single month. And this tip not only saved me in the end, it eventually got me custody of the kids, which is this. Guys, document, 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 and then document some more.
Now, of all of the advice you hear, like, why are you guys whining and you should just love and believe in God, this is practical. This is practical advice. If you're in a marriage and you think, you know what, I got it figured out. Hey, here we go. This is great. What are you guys complaining about? Marriage is great. You just didn't try hard enough. Until the one day you wake up and you're getting served papers from a lawyer, from a sheriff's office, and the sheriff is saying you've been summoned to court, and the other person is suing for full custody. And you wake up and you're saying, whoa, what? And that's happening to not just guys. It's happening to decent guys that go to work and take their kids to practice and do all of that stuff. Guys are getting hit blindsided by this. And then you're hearing people say, hey, what are you complaining about? Actionable advice right here. If you're married, you need to be documenting everything. Now explain to me how, if you're going to advocate for marriage in these times, and you have to do this as a way of protecting yourself, how are you going to advocate for that? Because this is realistic advice. I want you to listen to him.
Now, what do I mean by that? Every conversation you have with her, document it. Every piece of mail that goes between you, document it. My divorces were before the advent of cell phones and texting and all that. But right now, I'd be taking screenshots of everything. Make sure you log dates, times, all of that stuff.
Now, that doesn't sound romantic, does it? It doesn't sound romantic, but what is it? It is practical, actionable advice. It's not, oh, you're not a man because you don't believe in marriage, or why are you guys over here complaining about stuff? Look, until you see the inside of a courtroom and you got to fight to see your kids, don't talk to these guys over here about how they're wimps about complaining about the situation. That is no good. You need to give guys actionable advice, because guys are dealing with real, live, actionable situations here. They are. If you wake up one day and you're in the courtroom fighting to see your kids, that'll red pill you pretty darn quick. It will.
In states where it's legal, record conversations. Every bit of documentation you can have is something that you or your lawyer can use down the road.
It's not very romantic,
and the perfect
is it?
example was, eventually, in our cases, I had to testify on the stand. Now, she had made a wild accusation, several of them actually, and basically flat out lied. But I had my documentation. And my documentation not only was stuff in writing, but as the lawyers were asking me questions, I kept referring to it. And the judge was allowing it nonstop. He even let me bring it up on the stand with me. The point was that I had it in detail documented, which improved, at least in the judge's eyes, my credibility versus hers.
Again, now this is not the kind of advice that Hafiz and Abba are going to give you, because they're not in situations where they have to worry about this kind of stuff. And here's the rub. Nobody thinks they're in this kind of situation until they wake up and find out that they're in it. You don't know that you're going to be in a courtroom trying to fight to see your children. You don't know you're going to be in a courtroom trying to defend whether you're a decent husband or not. You don't know that. You just, especially if you're with someone who basically is maybe planning to do this in a way that you're not aware of, and then all of a sudden, boom. Oh, wow, I've been a father and now I got to fight for my children?
And over time, he began to realize that I wasn't making stuff up. I was well documented with it all. And that's why we ended up with custody, among other reasons. So if you're, God forbid, going through a divorce or having to face that reality in the near future, write it all down, screen prints, record over and over and over again. Even if you never use it, just having it can go a long way towards helping your case.
And there it is. There it is right there. Now, I want you guys, when you're seeing, you know, people that are making light of guys in the RP space, there are guys out here that are going through stuff like this, man, because they went into the marriage with their eyes wide shut, thinking that it was romantic love, because we grow up looking at all the Disney stuff and all the romantic movies. There's nothing romantic about the inside of a courtroom. Family court is nothing romantic about that. It is cold, it is nasty, it is dog eat dog. And if you're not thinking about that going in, look, nothing will red pill a man faster than being inside of a courtroom fighting to see his children. That simple. Nothing will. And to point fingers and blame people because they're seeing this real time and they're kind of gathering into this space, it's weak sauce. It's weak sauce, and to even compare this to, it's not a comparison comparing this to, you know, whatever, you know, the other movements that are out there. These are men who care about their children. They got to fight. They got to fight to see their kids. Stop shaming guys for this, man. Guys are over here looking for answers. Men are logical beings. We're looking for how can we solve the problem, because until this kind of thing happens to you, you don't even believe it's possible. You think that you're going to have a happily ever after everything until you wake up one day and you find out, oh, is it possible? Did she talk to a lawyer 3 months ago? And you're just going through the motions thinking, oh, everything's fine. And you wake up one day and realize, oh my gosh, I'm getting a call from a lawyer. I got to find a place to live. I don't know if I'm going to see my kids. And stories like this are why guys are gathering over here. So you guys that are married out there, that you're feeding guys this rosy picture of marriage, you need to be, I will be honest and say you need to back off until you have a chance to see inside of a courtroom, or you get to see how cold an actual divorce is. Look, back off, player. Like, and especially to Hafiz, you're sitting right next to a dude that's going through a nasty divorce. When you're sitting there talking to Coach Greg Adams, dude, everyone believes they're in the perfect marriage until the day you wake up and realize that you're not. And then getting out of it is there's nothing nice, there's nothing cool, easy, or calm about it. It is dog eat dog, and guys going into marriage need to understand that, especially if you got kids and you care about them. Anyways, I'm not going to run too long, but thank you guys for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, feel free to comment below, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.